refrain from just calling you subscribers because some of you are already kind of like friends and extended family, and I want to thank you for that. Some of the warm wishes I got while I was feeling kind of down have really come in helpful, so thank you for that. Alright, so I have my goat milk here sitting in an ice bath. I let it sit a little long so the goat milk has started to melt. I had it nice and frozen, but see, it softened up a bit there. So I'm just going to pour in a little bit of the lye, and, well, you know this routine, right? So I'll speed through this. But again, I just want to thank you all. It turned out that the kind of break that I had in my foot was treatable simply by wearing one of those ugly boots. After seeing 3 doctors, don't get me started on that. Finally, a doctor said, just elevate it 15 minutes in the evening, 15 minutes in the afternoon, morning. Put some ice on it if necessary. And wear this boot anytime you walk, and in about 6 to 8 weeks you'll be good as new. Why couldn't the first doctor have told me that? Anyway, enough of that. I'm doing good. The pain is completely manageable. I don't have to take I don't even take aspirin for it. I just deal with it and it's fine. Alright, so all I'm doing here is just continuing to melt the goat milk, and then what I'm going to do is add this to my wonderful oils. So just a moment and we'll get going on that. Now I have my colors divided out here. I have seagrass for green, I have tomato for just a little bit of red, that's tomato powder, and some indigo blue. Because I'm kind of wanting to get that blue-green west coast to ocean look. See how that goes. I actually have a large piece of blue-green coral. It's in the photo, which have had for years and years, and that was sort of the inspiration for this. And here I'm just dividing out my oil and lye mix, my soap, into my 3 colors. And one boo-boo that I made here, I put far too much into the red. I didn't want that much red. But the good thing is the red didn't actually come out red. I didn't add enough of the tomato powder. So it's actually just a kind of a yellow with a slight pinky tinge to it. But I'm just riding with it. One thing that I wanted to touch on as well is that this weekend is Juneteenth here in Texas, which is a very important holiday, especially for our African American brothers and sisters. Texas was very late in abolishing slavery. Even after the rest of the nation had followed up and freed the slaves, Texas didn't do it until, well, June 19th. And in Texas, that is a holiday of freedom celebrated on June the 19th. And I wanted to do a soap. I really did. But the truth is, I didn't know quite how to do it. I wanted to do a broken chain. And I tried different things by making curls with soap and by doing a long embed and trying to carve that out. And it just didn't look good. And I just can't quite get it. So hopefully I'll be able to come up with something by next year. Anyway. So I started out here, I'm not even sure what my plan was. I was sloppy at it, but it was basically just to intermingle each of the colors from the bottom to the top. I just wanted to make sure that there was blue, green, and this red all the way through. And actually, see, I only wanted about a cup of the quote-unquote red, and that way it would have been much more red. I put too much soap in here. I should have put a base down of plain soap and then started adding my colors, but I forgot. I seem to always forget something. But I love these colors. I truly do. They go together so well. And this reminds me of a countertop we had when I was a kid. It was some type of formica is what they called it back then. Or it was just, no, it wasn't a countertop. It was the floor. I'm sorry. It reminds me of the linoleum floor we had. It was in a home we had in Petaluma, California when I was a boy. And it had sort of this look to it, sort of this blue and green streaks throughout it. My mother hated it. I think my father tore it out and replaced it with something, but I remember, and this is what this has reminded me of. All right, so let's move through a bit. Here for the top, I just decided I wanted some little streaks and some dots over the top of all the different colors. Kind of a watercolor Pollock look on top. That was the plan. And I do want you all to notice I have worn gloves throughout this entire video. I deserve some applause for that. I'm actually doing what I should be doing, right? And I believe that I should make a better example. I was watching someone else's video, and she said in the video, I wear gloves because I see other soapers not wearing gloves, and I think that's a bad example. And I thought about that, and I thought, you're right. I'm not setting a good example. There may be people who have not soaped before and don't have years of experience and don't know the precautions to take and should be wearing gloves. And if they see me just doing it and getting it all over my hands and go, well, it doesn't hurt him, why would it hurt me? That's not good. And that's poor sportsmanship on my behalf. So anyway, so I'm dropping my little drips on here. And what I realized is that I had so much of that red left. I really need to do something with it. So off camera, I actually poured some of that down in the corners to just try to use it up. My sincerest apologies. I started cutting without turning on the camera. What I realized is that these bars were gigantic, and so I'm actually cutting them in half. And there were 18 bars total. 9 bars that I cut in half, creating 18. I had to adjust this a few times because some of these, the tops were higher than others, and I just wanted it to be more even. As you could see there, the colors are rather muted where it's cut. Well, that's because that hasn't dried yet. The outer parts where it's dried, the colors are much more clearly defined. So once this all dries, it'll all look like it does in the photograph. But you see how big that is? It's a big brick. Like I said, I think when I weighed it, it was almost 15 ounces. So I had to cut these in half. I'm sure there's someone out there that would like a 15-ounce bar of soap, but I think most people like a more manageable one. So what do you think? I had a lot of fun doing these, and as always, thank you so much. Without each of you, I wouldn't be doing this. Well, I'd still be making soap, but certainly not as much. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun making soap, and I just want to tell you thank you for the opportunity to share this with you all. It really is a lot of fun for me. As I may have said in the other video that I put up of me on the Roseanne show years ago, I am pretty shy. When I'm just talking to you, I don't feel so shy. but to go on camera and put my big ugly mug on there, I do get shy. And I may try it sometime soon, just not there yet. So thanks everyone. Have a terrific day. I look forward to seeing you back soon. Goodbye.